So I'm an old man now, and I've had this Surron Light Bee for 2 3 years. I love the bike. I love it. My son and I ride together. He's got a Light Bee over here. Uh, I'm not a big guy. I'm like 140 pounds, 5'5", 5'6" on a good day. And it's just a great bike. It's quiet. It's reliable. It's no maintenance. We've had gas bikes. These aren't gas bikes. There's pros and cons, but I really want this bike to work for me. And so I went from the stock KKE fork to a Dorado over here. And that's a great fork. It's nothing wrong with that fork. But my problem is that I get a lot of arm fatigue, and it's probably like in my shoulders and my arms go to sleep. I ride East Coast trails that are like rutted washboard chatter. And, you know, it's just not uh, I can't keep riding with him on some of this stuff if I can't feel my hands, right? So I'm trying to keep this bike, and this video I'm going to go over. I've gone from the Rfloxa now to an EXT system. The EXT shock is on. I just put that on, and I'm about to put the fork on, and I'm going to give you a review this video of initial impression and packaging between the Rfloxa and the EXT. And I'd be lying if I said I was, pleased with the EXT packaging compared to Rfloxa. Doesn't mean it's not a better system. I still feel like it's gonna be. But first impressions mean something. And when you look at the difference in these two, deliveries, it's pretty obvious which one is doing it better. So here's your EXT box. I ordered the Faro and Arma Black Edition system, right? So you open it up and you find your piece of paper that tells you about the shock, and then one about the fork, okay? And then a quality control piece, right? The shock was in bubble wrap in this box. It's acceptable, it's fine. The forks, there's nothing unacceptable about this, but just comparing the two, you know, packaging is you're going to see. These stickers you have to apply yourself. They don't do that for you. Um, they give you some extras in there. They don't install a bearing here. You have to do that yourself, and the dust seal. I did that before I made this video, obviously. The Rfloxa comes pre-installed. This tube here is super fucking long and will have to be cut. The Rfloxa one is more of like a standard length, like what was stock. And so I was able to just use the spacers and a stem lock, and it was not at all a problem. So you got to cut this, okay? Now, when we look at these over here, you see you got a shock. It's got the quality and a full manual. Now, some of this is in other languages, but it still goes over all kinds of setup information on it. And then you got the shock in this nice foam cutout. Okay. The forks, same thing. Manual, quality control, foam cutout. And like I said, just like initial impressions, you open this and you're like, oh man, this looks great. That was installed. That's right. And then look at the difference in these. Upper clamps. Here's your Rfloxa drop crown, 2 screws, beefy, and this one's not like fragile or anything, but it's just not as good. It's just not as good. And I was going to try and use the Rfloxa clamps, but the the tubes, the tubes here, the way Rfloxa does it is they have like fatter pieces here and here than what EXT has. This is all like a single. It doesn't fluctuate like the Rfloxa fluctuates until you get down here, and this is just not the same diameter as what's over there. I believe that this is all the same diameter. I looked at that pretty closely, and I'm sure there's a spec on it somewhere. I know that the Rfloxa has more travel to it. And ultimately, I think if you're a guy that's doing urban riding and like a lot of jumping in whatever downtown Nashville or something, this system's probably awesome for you. It's very plush, it rides great, but it's not awesome for what I'm doing back on, like trails. And so I'll make a video after I get these things mounted and get a few rides on them and talk about what I really think between, this system and this over here. I think I'm going to put this stuff on my son's bike and sell those Dorados and, not feel like I've, you know, thrown away money. But I'm really hopeful that my impression of this, you know, is overcome with overwhelmed by the ride, and that I'm overall kind of pleased here. Anyway, back in a bit.